Richard, what was your first thoughts when you heard the end of that race? I imagine you were listening somewhere at that point because you had taken off. But what goes through your mind when you hear that Jones boy up front?
Well, we've been in that situation the last 3 or 4 races. We've had a really good chance to win, and something always happened to us. But this time, we was running along our 3rd or 4th, and the first couple of cars had trouble, and so we took advantage of their not mistakes, but their trouble. And it's been working the other way. So I told them boys if they stayed with it, one of these days things would break our way. And Sunday night was really, really good for us.
What kind of emotions do you have? Do you fist pump? Do you high five? You were with Dale Inman?
Yeah, me and Dale was together. Dale got more excited than I did, but he always does from that standpoint. But it was just one of the deals that I've done this so long and stuff. I don't get really excited when we lose, and I don't get really excited when we win. I get a little more excited when we win than I do when we lose. But overall, we knowed it was coming. We just didn't know when. And it was one race too late to get into the championship run. But you look back, I think we're the only team that's ever won in the championship races with the 16 or whatever they had that wasn't a top 16 car.
Right.
So he set a bunch of records on that kind of stuff.
He did. I heard that it was the first time a non-playoff car won the first race out of the box. And 17 winners this year. That tied a record going back to
I don't know when.
61 or something like that.
Is that
way
right?
back.
Yeah.
What is it about the new deal this year with GMS and Petty? What is making the magic there?
Well, the big deal was that we've always, well, not always, but in the last 10 or 15 years, we've been underfunded. When we joined up with the new guys and stuff here, then we had a good backing. We had everything we needed in the shop, all the latest equipment, engineers, all the stuff that we couldn't really afford to have at RPM. And so, looking at when we went and that made this decision, that was the decision. We was going to a team that was capable of winning, and all we had to do was go in and make a winner out of them, and I guess they proved that Sunday night.
What is it you like about Erik Jones?
He's so regular, okay? He's down to earth. He don't get too excited. I mean, seen an interview after the race and stuff, and he's just sitting there talking to them just like, any other time, even before a race. So he's got a petty temperament as far as looking at things and just saying, okay, good day, a bad day, next day is going to be a little bit better.
He was saying that he still learns a lot from you through you and him talking, that even though you haven't raced in 30 years, that you can still give advice that's worth something.
The principles are still the same. The cars are so much different. I can't tell him really how to drive the car because I've never driven these cars, so I don't know how they react. But watching and listening to other people and then watching it in person on our own TV, then you see some techniques that some of the other people are doing. And so I try to take that plus what me and Dale did all those years and put it together and say, okay, this is what I see now. And hopefully it's working pretty good.
He said he's got some good tracks coming up still. Would it surprise you if he won more this year?
No, not really. I told him before we run the race, they had 10 more races to go. I said, well, we can win all 10 races. I said, it's been done before, so why can't we do it again?
What do you see this group doing? Petty GMS. What do you see the future next year?
This is a big plug-in for us as far as notoriety. Okay, as far as looking with new partners to go inside the car or help us out, help them. It makes it a lot easier to get better people to work. You know what I mean? Because we're not really that big yet, so we're looking to try to expand what we've already got even before the win. And this should make us a lot more attractive to a lot of different people.
The new car seemed to be the difference maker for a lot of teams this year. You got, Childress is one, and all these teams have been running up front and all these different winners. Has that built really, in your eyes, been a big difference maker for a lot of teams?
It's been really, really different because, you had 3 or 4 teams that was really dominating everything, winning all the races and stuff because the other people didn't have the facilities or the monies and stuff to make them that way. But then all of a sudden they come with a new car and everybody's starting on the same page. No matter how much experience you had before, that's all out the window. So everybody's having to learn. That's the reason there's 17 different winners, because everybody's learning. And nobody's really got the car or the situation figured out that they can dominate. So nobody's dominated this year, which is very, very, very different.
Because of the nature of that car, they can't really, retire one of them. But at some point, I imagine you'd like to put that car, one just like it, in this museum.
Yeah, I'll probably try to get the winning car over a year. We're definitely, over a period of time here at the museum and stuff, we've got winners from way, way back. And, you see the very first cars that my dad ran, the cars I ran, the cars Kyle and Adam run. And then now this is a new vineyard, okay? So definitely we'll have to have the new car in here.
If I haven't missed one, you've probably, Petty Enterprises or a Petty named car has won a race in every generation of race car that NASCAR's had.
Yeah, everything that
Now.
ever put out to us, no matter how good or bad it was, the Petty crowd's always been able to win at least one race in that era. And so we're starting in a new era, and we've already won. So the future is out there for us to go get.
How's Richard Petty these days?
I guess he's doing okay. Basically, being he won a race, that makes him feel good. He's been sleeping pretty good anyway, but this made him sleep a little bit better.
What is your day-to-day like these days? What are you doing?
You don't want to ask, okay? I do. I had to come in. I was goofing off, and I got a call and said, you wanted to do an interview, and I said, okay, well, there goes my day's run again. But tomorrow we'll go to over to Statesville at the camp at the shop, and when Erik got out of the car, he said, I want a hat, okay? So I'm going to take him a hat tomorrow and present it to him and stuff so that it's still fresh on his mind. If I wait a week or two, it'll kind of calm down. So while he's already up there, I want to make sure he gets a hat. And, we do a little PR on that deal. So that's just tomorrow. Then, what happens Wednesday and Thursday is according to what's happening now.
You ever stop and think, man, this has been great. This is just incredible. All these, and to keep it on.
No, I always look at, and people ask you, if you could go back, would you like to go back and race with these cars, or would you like to be racing now? Would you like to do this or that? And I tell them, I wouldn't change anything in my life, because if I did, it changes other people's life. If I win a race or lose a race or don't show up for an appointment or something. So, everybody influences people and don't really realize how much they do. So I don't want to back and change my life because it would change somebody else's life.
Now, you have 200 wins. Not all of them were in Petty car. You had a couple in Mike Curb cars, I think, if I remember correctly. Was this the 200th win for a Petty named team car, or is it?
Well,
somebody said something last night, and I couldn't.
The big deal that was there was a Petty involved in it, okay, and the Petty name was out there, even with the Curb deal. We really wound up. Curb was supposed to be doing the money. We wound up with the Petty Enterprise people doing all the work. So it just changed because from time to time racing is so dang expensive. It's hard to get enough money to really run first class, and that's where we're coming through now, that we've got the money now to back us and make everything work.
Okay. Yeah, and what I was getting at was you had your 200 wins, and there was, let me see that stat again.
What are you looking for?
200 wins for the 43 car. You had 192 of those wins in the 40. That's, did you? I guess you won other races.
Yeah, I won some other races with
Different number?
With a different number.
No,
with
right. So 192 of the 200 wins for the 43 car were you.
Yeah.
But
And
last night he had 200 wins for the 43 car.
yes.
That's what
Is that right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
I heard him say it last night, and I couldn't quite put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Very good,
So
perfect.
Jim Pascal won 2, Bobby Hamilton won 2, Lee won 1, John Andretti won 1, Eric Almirola, and now Erik Jones.
Very cool.
Yep.
That's cool. So 200 wins for the 43 car. Now another cool milestone for
Yeah,
petty history.
that's just another for the record book, you know, from that standpoint. Because
Very nice.
it's pretty phenomenal that we've been able to do this all these years and still win races. I mean, you know, we've been here since 1949, and it might took that many years to win that many races, but you know, it's been what 10, 12 years, maybe longer than that, since the 43s won a race. So, from that standpoint, kind of puts us back in the mainstream.
Very nice.